holding on to very tightly because I don't talk very well and people get a little nervous sometimes. But I feel like this is very important and everybody needs to know the things that families do go through when their sons, loved ones are injured or their daughters. So, as you can see or have heard, I am a nurse, and many years ago, my grandmother told me I needed to become a nurse. And she knew best. I wanted to be a secretary. I thought how cool that would be to, helping my boss and stuff like that. But becoming a nurse was like the best thing that I did. And my forte has always been behavioral health. I love psychiatry, and I'm very passionate about that. And helping children, because I managed an adolescent unit for several years at a hospital in Buffalo. I got to meet several people, children that I could help, and there was always hope. Hope is a big thing. And while working there, I met other nurses, and we would pray for our patients and stuff. So I grew in my career there as a nurse and a manager. And those were the steps that helped me to become prepared for the next journey that I'd be taking. And that journey was with my children. All decided at one point to join the military. And when they were younger, I told them, don't you ever do this to me. I don't ever want you to be in the army, the military, anything, because I was always afraid that something would happen. And I didn't want to be like the Sullivans, having 4 sons, that something, devastating would come to my family. Well, on July 3rd, 2011, Tim was in the Army. He was in the 10th Mountain, and he was deployed to Afghanistan. And he had been in the military since 2003, so that was incorrect in 2013. And he had been deployed 2 other times to Iraq, and during that time, I went through many changes, a lot of fears, nightmares every night for a couple of months, because when you love your sons as much as I do, and I think a lot of you know how that feeling goes, it's not a good place to be. So when I got the call from the 10th Mountain telling me he had stepped on an IED, I thought, okay, well, we'll get through this. I'm going to go down there, and my nursing skills are going to help him. When I got there, I was not prepared at all for what I saw. I was totally devastated. And seeing my son laying in bed in an induced coma, no legs, his arms all bandaged up, his head bandaged up, was like the worst thing that I ever had to encounter. During that time, though, the nurses, since they knew I was a nurse, they allowed me to help take care of him, which was the best thing that I ever could have done. And the Army also tried to help me whichever way they could at that time. It wasn't a whole lot, and whatever they might have told me, I probably forgot because I was very anxious about the whole thing. But during that time, there were other issues going on that some people don't even come to realize. There were a lot of family dynamics that was going on in our family. I was divorced from my son's father, and there were a lot of drama going on, tons of drama. And when you not only have to face the wounds that your son is going through, but then to have family things going on that hindered things, it made it that much worse. So basically my ex-husband kind of like turned my son against me, and then Tim, as he progressed, he didn't talk to me for a whole year, which made it even worse. So I went back to work after spending 3.5 months at Walter Reed, and after that year came around, Tim called me up and said, Mom, I love you. Let's work on this. And that was the best phone call I had received in a long time. So during that time, Tim continued to grow. He went through depression, suicide, all kinds of medication changes, and a big healing process. He's here in the room with us today. Tim got married, and his wife became his caretaker for a little over a year. Things did not go well with that marriage, and unfortunately they did become divorced. After that happened, Tim came to me and said, Mom, I want you to be my caretaker. I said, okay. Well, I didn't know what that was going to involve, but I thought I'm going to take it on, and I'm up for any kind of challenge that he's going to put in my direction. So it's been quite an interesting road. He got me all signed up, and I have met some very interesting people. So actually last year is when I signed up and got involved. And on this journey, I have met the most interesting, wonderful, loving people that I could ever help me with all the things that I've had to go through. You know, when you go through this stuff, you kind of like put the things that you're going through in a box and you throw it away in the back of your mind because you don't have time to deal with these things. So for many years now, since Tim has been injured, it's been over 5 years now, I have not dealt with my own issues. I have just been there to help him, anybody else, and of course my patients at the hospital when I was working. Since then I have been retired now, and I am on the road helping Tim, travel with him back and forth from Buffalo, New York, and he lives in Raleigh, so we travel, and we've gone to the Invictus games, we've gone to the Warrior games, we have gone to galas. So many supportive people out there. Tina Cavanis is my hero. Michelle Brown, another hero. Laura, I don't know what I would have done without meeting you. You were such a sweetheart. I love you to death. At one of the galas that I went to, Tina gave me this little bracelet that says hero on here. I'm not the hero. My son is a hero. All military personnel, veterans are heroes. But you know what? You're all heroes. Because you have helped me to become strong, and you've given me the knowledge and the backbone to be up here to stand in front of you today. Thank you, and God bless you.